So welcome to all of you. We're sitting very tightly here on Henny's Game Farm, and we've had a fantastic 2 days. And I really just wanted to introduce some of the team members. We've been sitting around. We really have made some great progress with Migrate. And what we wanted to do was share with you what we're doing, how we're doing it, and really where the opportunity lies. So if I kind of go from left to right here, just to introduce everyone. Basically, Henny is chairman of Migrate and comes with a huge amount of experience, particularly what he's done in Australia is where they've gone and done residential and development, residential commercial development, and really started out with $4 million, turned into $40 million in 4 years, and listed the opportunity. And really, it was actually in Times Square with Brendan. When I phoned Henny, I said, "Listen, it's a great, it really works in Australia. It's a great model, but I think we've got as good, if not better, opportunity in America." So, Henny, from your perspective, obviously we worked on this for a long time now, and really it's a case of replicating what we're doing and what worked in Australia and doing it again in America. What are your thoughts based on kind of where we are and what we've achieved in the last 12 months in America?
Scott, I think it's very exciting. The situation in America, I think as far as Australia is concerned, we've developed to an extent that we are not happy with the market value, the values are there, and I think the opportunity in America is great due to the GFC and what happened post the GFC.
And I think the important thing, a lot of people need to understand, we do both residential and commercial. We've got the experience in both, and it's actually more about the opportunity and where we can make safe investments. And the people who are sitting around here have the experience to be able to execute on any opportunity. The second thing that's always important and what a lot of people underestimate when starting a business is the importance of accounting, compliance, making sure that the money is looked after, the transparency side. Johan, you've worked with Henny for a while, and I know that we've got Grant Thornton involved and Ian Scott at a high level due diligence and a compliance level, but operationally from a day-to-day perspective, we've got to make sure everything's in place. And you've recently been part of the team, but we've had a great weekend. Just very quickly, what are your thoughts on what you've seen in the last 2 days?
Well, I've seen a dedicated team with a lot of knowledge between them, and I think in terms of the future and the transactions that will take place, obviously we need to make sure that the compliance is always there, and I think really that we'll be able to do that.
Cool. No, it's fantastic. I mean, I think Henny, you always say we can do the best projects in the world, but unless we have our back office and our compliance and everything in place, then we'll fall over at some point. And it's really exciting to get Johan, and I look forward to introducing you to Ian so that we can get and Charlie actually in America, so we can make sure we're on top of all of that. Brendan, from your perspective, you and I were in America in April last year. You've traveled a long journey in terms of the whole crowdfunding and Migrate and the bigger picture. And really you've been integral to getting the things set up, finding the opportunities, and even from the IT actually building out the systems. Everything's happening quite fast now. What are your thoughts on where we're at and where we're going to go going forward? And give us a little bit of a view into how we're going to have that transparency in terms of the IT systems.
So where we're at now, I must admit that in line with what Henny said earlier, I'm extremely excited because we actually closed on our first property this last week, and it's been over a year that we've been doing our due diligence before we finally vetted an opportunity out and said we're good to go on this one, and we bought it. So I'm so excited because we closed on that 2 or 3 days ago, and then came here and had a wonderful time with Henny, so thank you so much. But in terms of going forward, we're going to be building out an incredible system online for people to be able to see their investments, see what's happening with them, see all the documentation that's related to it via a login portal. So that's quite exciting. And then in the future, we're going to be going to an incredible model where people will be able to invest directly in property across the world online. But that's down the line. We'll get there sometime in the future.
What about you've been investing in America since 2011 yourself personally? Yeah. Where are we now in terms of the market, the opportunity, and the current opportunities we've got tabled for the next 6 months?
Well, I was quite excited in 2011 because I could see it was right at the very, very bottom of the market. But at that particular time, it was a little bit risky to jump into the market because nobody knew if there was going to be a double dip, if the market was going to recover. So by a year and a half down the line now, I mean, we're nearly at the end of 2013, so almost 2 years down the line, we're able to make much more educated decisions on the opportunities because we've seen the results that we've had over the last year, which have been phenomenal. We've helped clients invest directly in residential homes, and they've done phenomenally well. The rand has slid a little bit further, so it's made it more expensive to invest, but at the same time it's given our investors that did invest, that did take action, a hell of a lot of growth in terms of rand terms, but it was directly related to the growth that they experienced in America. So it's been a phenomenal turnaround in that market, and it's only speeding up, it's not slowing down.
And just of our interest, a lot of our assumptions are not just on capital growth, they're on passive income as well.
Yeah,
you know,
it's income related.
So, no, it's really, really exciting. Noni, we met, and obviously I saw you presenting a couple of weeks ago at an event, and your speciality is corporate finance, and you're an ex-CA, well, no, current CA, I would say, ex-private banker with RMB. But what your specialization is really understanding the bigger, sophisticated investors and funds, and really, you know, a lot of property people sitting around this table, but it's taking our knowledge from property and putting it into a language they understand so that they can take advantage of the opportunity. And I know it's been a bit of a whirlwind since we met, and since, you know, you in Cyprus, and then, you know, last minute agreed to come on the weekend, which is, we really do thank you. But what's been your experience from what you've seen this weekend? You've been in the game a long time. You've seen a lot of opportunities both locally in Africa and internationally. Where do we stand based on your experience?
Thanks, Scott. I'm so excited that I met you, and it's amazing the luck and opportunity in life. You never know where you're going to be in a few weeks or minutes' time. And thanks, Henny, for a great experience on this amazing, beautiful game farm. I'm so excited about your team, and I'm excited. What excites me in life is connecting the right people together. And I know you have a great product, and I'm so excited to find the right people and make them money and connect them with you.
And just about interest, you know, based on the American opportunity as you see it, and some of we spent 2 days going through all the projects, so you understood them. Do they make sense to you? You know, we always like to say safety is our number one thing, common sense is our number two thing. What do you think based on that?
I've been so impressed with the team and your approach to it, that you're always looking for the downside and making sure that you've got all your bases covered. And there's such huge opportunity in the projects you found. I love it, and I think a lot of people are going to like it.
Well, excellent. We look forward to getting all our property knowledge and putting it into the right format so that people understand. John, a lot of people know John, and, you know, I think it's incredibly wonderful actually that John is part of the team, because back in August last year, we all know the Warren Buffett philosophy of find someone on the ground that is conservative, that's based on the fundamentals, and basically what they do is they try and kill deals. And Henny actually in August last year, after meeting all the partners in America, said that John was the number one person in America to be able to do that. Actually enough, 3 nights ago, we went for dinner with another very respected property businessman in South Africa that's invested both locally and internationally. And he went to America 2 years ago. And he also said that John was the number one guy in America. So I can, when he told John that, I enjoyed the smile on John's face. It's always nice to be given a positive compliment. But John, from your perspective, we've come a long road, and we've obviously looked at a lot of opportunities, and, you know, now's not the forum to go into all the details. But what do you think based on this week and where we're at and meeting all the clients in the last 2 weeks, and obviously the opportunities on the ground in America? How are you feeling?
Two things really. I think that between, you know, we were doing our strategy meeting, and I told all the team this already, but looking around the table, your capacity to execute falls squarely on the shoulders of the team that you've put together. And I've never seen or worked personally with is such a dynamic team where everybody's unique strengths can come together to create a synergy to bring a lot of value to the investors. So that's probably what stands out more than anything. The real estate stuff, the sticks and bricks stuff, is actually the easier part, but executing on that opportunity is what's kind of difficult. And there are a lot of moving parts with this operation, but I'm very confident that we have the best people in place to do that. I was going to use the, you know, being that we just saw the All Blacks. All Blacks.
Be careful,
Dominated.
Jaco might hit you.
I was going to use the All Blacks analogy, but I don't think that'd be the most friendly. I wouldn't have a ride back to town.
And they're all predators here on the game.
Yeah. So we have a dynamic team, and I'm looking forward to communicating to all of you what I really like about what I've seen so far with the investors we brought to the table with our first project, and then who I'm seeing line up for our subsequent projects, is that we are creating a really nice family environment. So it's going to be a really kind of a neat, intimate setting where you'll hear from me every 2 months to 3 months live here in South Africa. But then, you know, we're going to be doing a lot of webinars. You'll have my direct contact information. You'll always be in the loop on what's happening. So I'm really looking forward to communicating to you and kind of keeping you abreast of all the developments in the U.S.
Awesome. And then from Jaco's perspective, you know, Jaco has a huge amount of experience, literally has been involved in the second biggest developer in the country, has built thousands of units, has set up all the teams, has run management teams. And I think strategically it's really exciting because it comes with a huge amount of development experience right from the beginning, in terms of all the due diligence right through to the end. And we all know, John, you always talk about management being at least 1/3 of any project, and the big picture in terms of what we're doing, systemizing and making sure it's all runs smoothly. Jaco, just from your perspective, I know also it's fairly recent from a Wealth Migrate perspective in terms of what's happening. You've been to America, you've seen what's happening on the ground, you've seen the different opportunities with John, but this weekend hopefully we galvanize a little bit more in terms of where we're going in the bigger picture. What are your thoughts on it from your experience?
Scott, I think there's three things that's very important, and what I've seen this weekend, and it was fantastic. Thanks again, Henny, for bringing us here. This is really a fantastic place to be, and it also clears the mind a bit. So there's three things for me. First of all, like Brendan said, it's the opportunity. It's so great in America that we have to get in now, and like Henny said, we have to find more land to buy because we need to take advantage of this opportunity first time around. Second thing is the due diligence that's been done. I've seen it this weekend. Everything has been covered, looking at all the downside all the time, making sure that the worst case scenario is always being taken care of, and the rest is just upside, like you always say, Scott. And the third thing is absolutely the team. The team is awesome. It's really fantastic. Like John said, it's a combination of the best that you'll find, and I think that the synergy in this team is fantastic.
No, well, thanks. I think that pretty much sums it up from us. It's about the team, and the reason we wanted to do this video was to get a bit of a feel. We've obviously got an extensive team in America in terms of best-of-breed partners that we've put together. But I think really the last thing I would like to say is that we want to welcome you, and if you are part of the team, great already. But it's very much we see this as a partnership. Money is not the only way to get onto this team. We've also got prerequisites, and we want to work with like-minded, sophisticated investors because we believe there's a great opportunity to go forward, but we want to do it with like-minded people, and we want to have some fun in the process. So it's been awesome, it's wonderful, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity with all of you guys, and hopefully between us we've explained a little bit of who we are and where we are and what we're doing. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.